Alright, BobalosRex here, and what's going on? Legion Remix and the 11.2.5 content update. Alright, so what's going on? We now know when it is. I'm going to be linking this so y'all can see this, because this is a really good rundown of what I'm going to be going over here. And on the PTR, the remix is over, so I can't even bring that up right now. But I'm going to show some stuff on the PTR, but let's go through this. So October 7th, we were right. Look at this. So let's get into it. So what's going on with Legion Remix? If you've never done a remix, basically when you log in, you'll notice Blizzard telling you, hey, Legion Remix is going on. Do you want to create a time runner? And if you don't know what that is, you're like, what the hell is a time runner? So basically, it's a new character. You can make a character, level an alt in this new game mode, right? So if you're not a big alt leveler, there is other stuff in this game mode for you, but this game mode does leave itself to alt leveling. Also, they are giving us 5 new character slots, not 10, 5, just 5. So there is that. So you'll be able to make an alt in this new game mode and collect, level up, because at a certain point you can move the character over to normal servers, because this is separate from a normal game mode. And then just play around in Legion. We're basically going to be in this phased off version of Legion. And it's even time gated itself to either slow us down or, just to keep it, whatever. It's time gated. If you want to wait until it's finally out, it's going to be December 9th. I know some people are memeing, yo, it actually starts December 9th. If that's how you're going to play it, you got some time to play some other stuff. I ain't going to tell you what to do. But October 7th is when this actually launches, and we'll start with the Broken Isles, the Emerald Nightmare, and Trial of Valor. You'll be able to get your artifact. You'll be able to do the quest lines. They do have all the artifact quest lines. Like, you do actually go get your artifacts. You do the Class Hall campaigns. You level in Legion, and you get this artifact power weapon. It's not the original weapon. You use the original weapon, but it works differently than the original weapon. And with the latest updates, the power does seem to be there. And the speed at which you level is for sure there. So I'm going to go over what to do first, like a strategy and whatnot. But there is going to be a ton of benefit to level characters in this game mode. And there's going to be a lot to collect. If you like achievements, mounts, pets, all that transmog, there's going to be a lot of that there. New and legacy rewards, We got Keystone Dungeons in this one. Heroic World Tier, which is mainly just for achievements. Okay, it's mainly just for achievements, but you can check it out. They are trying something new. It does make content feel a little bit more dangerous. Then we got the Time Warp Obelisks, which are like the pylons from Diablo, and then your class order halls. All right, but there are no mission tables, but you do the quest lines, which are great. And then it is phase, so there's this chart here. You can look at this. I am going to share this again. October 21st is when Return to Karazhan, Nighthold, Suramar open, and they do section off the collectibles, right? So if you are only in this for the collectibles, you do actually have to wait until November 18th when all the collectibles are unlocked, okay? And there are achievements for doing all of the content again. So I have a feeling the time gating of this content will probably be a problem for people, because rewards are locked behind this November 18th date. But we'll have to see how this goes. But either way, October 21st, Rise of the Night Fallen, Return to Kara, Nighthold, and Suramar campaign. Suramar is accessible in the base game, FYI. Some people were confused. November 4th, Legion Fall, Broken Shore, Cathedral of the Eternal Night, Tomb of Sargeras. Alright? So, you got all that dungeon, that raid, and Broken Shore was really buggy, and some people were having issue going there. So I wonder if that bug's going to be in live for some of the artifact quest lines. But the Broken Shore is kind of like sectioned off in the first phases, and then you have access to it. And then November 18th, that's when you go to Argus, you get the Seat of the Triumvirate, and Antorus. Alright, and then this November night date, which seems to be the next patch, in my opinion, is going to add catch-up opportunities, remix content updates, and more rewards. The housing stuff? So, again, there is going to be some big stuff on the 9th, but all collectibles will be unlocked on the 18th of November. And, like, the leveling will be good. If you get all your characters ready by November 18th, you just spend the bronze, buy the rest of collectibles, finish the raid, and you're done. Right? That's the way I see it. I'm going to get people ready through all this. Each phase, I'm going to blast, be done, have a good time, have all my people leveled up. It is available to everyone. If you are a trial account, you can load this up, get to level 20. There may be benefits to that. We'll have to see how it goes. Alright. It's all inside. All the order halls. There is a little bit of storyline with the Infinite Dragons, but it's more of how to get us there. There may be some secrets, but we don't know that yet. And I'm not making any more assumptions on that. The remix artifact weapon, we have seen that before. I may go over it all when it's on live. But they're literally showing you the power, the DPS tree right here. FYI, this is the DPS tree. And then we got the infinite power, heroic world tier they mentioned, time warp obelisk, the keystones. Running 40s with max power was great. 40s and beyond get turbo hard. So I am very interested to see where soloers get. I hope soloers get to 40. I do feel like that's intended now. But now when those people come together to push higher, are we going to see 50? Because the scaling was getting crazy. Then we got infinite research. These were the missions, the dailies. These were given some good power. More on that in my what to do first. Well, though it's going to be harder to show off. Tons of collectibles. There's the sides. They don't have some of the stuff, FYI. There were no updates on that, and I can't, unless they bring it back, I can't check on the PTR anymore. So y'all have my vendor videos to look at there. And again, bronze is only used for collectibles. Gear is just drops. Gear is just RNG. More character slots and early conversion. So you can convert a character. So they do have some requirements. So if you level in Legion Remix, say you're a classic only player, say you don't have the War Within, you play Legion Remix, you get a character to 80, you can't convert them unless you buy the War Within, right? But it does look, once Midnight's out, War Within will roll in, and your Legion Remix character will convert at some point. So that will be interesting, because they do specify, alright, that you need to have the War Within. So I am curious what happens at the end of Legion Remix if you get it level 80. You know, so we'll have to see. Also, there's a 24-hour time limit before you transfer over. So if you level someone to 80 before 24 hours, you can't convert them yet. And then they'll remove remix gear and give you normal gear, and then you can get them into the War Within. I think that's great. Early conversion, great. More character slots. Only 5. It is what it is. And yeah, content rollout. Time gating. The true Legion experience. Alright? It's authentic. Then, get a boost in the 11.2.5 content. So this is what I'm going to show off real quick. So with the initial release, we get the hero and myth track upgrade and the augmentation matrix for crafted gear. So we'll be able to bump up our item levels in the actual game right off the bat for turbo boost, but the full event is soon after release. Are we talking 2 weeks? Are we talking a week? I'm thinking within that, so I'm thinking within the first 2 weeks we will see this turbo boost, and then when it actually unlocks, you'll be able to get more Mythic Plus Warbound gear. You'll be able to get Valor Stones tradable across your account, and we will get our new Puzzling Cartel chips. Maybe they'll change the name again, we'll have to see, but some ethereals are going to show up in Dornogal, offering powerful weapons, trinkets, and cantrip items. I think the latest thing from Wowhead said the boots may be on there, or I think they were questioning the boots, but it will still have the limitations where you have to either kill the mythic bosses or have resilient keys for the dungeon trinkets. So I expect people to complain again. Maybe they'll change it, but well, it's gonna work the same way at the moment, it seems. And then ethereal void sparks may now be earned in Mythic Plus dungeons. Mana Forge Omega, Delves, and rated PvP to feud. Yo, Delves? This is an easier way for Delves to get tier now. Yo, that's pretty sweet. And then the cooldown management improvements. And then they link the video. So, what did I want to show off here? Well, one, look at those upgrades. So I can start going, once the patch hits October 7th, you start upgrading that. You can hit up the Augment Rune Vendor over here. Alright, you know where it is. There it is. Gilded Starlight Matrix. Alright. And there you go. 30 Gilded Press. See, that's great. Okay, so they have a... So yeah, dude. You gotta spend 90 Gilded for a crafted piece. Alright. And then in here, it's cool. You can craft your voids... You can track your void splinters, as well as your crafted crests here. You get the void sparks and all that tracking there. And the last thing I wanted to show, they mentioned it, but the new cooldown management. So advanced cooldown settings. So now you can decide which ones you assign to the central cooldown bar. You can pick the buffs. So they're adding a lot more to that. So if you were kind of using it before or wanted to switch to it, now's the time to look into it. Maybe this will be the time that it works for you. And that's pretty much it. Alright. This patch is mostly Legion Remix, some Turbo Boost, a little bit of add-on buffing, and that's it. Alright. There are, like I said, tons of achievements. Look at this. Alright, look at that. 245 feats of strength to get in Legion Remix. Let's see if I can even show the mounts. They don't show them anymore, but if you look at the vendor videos, tons of new mounts. You can get all the old mounts, level alts, all that remix goodness. And that's the patch. That's what's going on. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.